I was going to replace my replace a switch on one of my LGTs, or my favorite LGT, and I thought, why not just go ahead and video it, just in case somebody else needed to see how that was done anyway. Plus, it gave me an excuse to clean my area here, which really needed it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm replacing this switch here with a different one. I've been through several of these LGT switches. I bought several different brands, aftermarket ones. There's another light up one. I think this one's blue or purple. I can't remember. But they all seem to kind of wear out fairly quickly, or unless I'm doing something wrong, and then you replace a switch and then it works pretty good for a while, and then eventually it just gets a little touchy and you have trouble doing force effects and stuff like that. So I'm going to put in one of these switches that does not have illumination. It's just a on-off switch, momentary switch, or they call it, or see if just see if it does a little better. I've got some different ones coming too, some clicky style, but we'll just see. Well, since I've got this first, I'm going to go ahead and change it out and just try it. So just if you need to replace your switch, you can get a lot of life out of these direct replacements. They just I'm ready for something different. I like the clicky kind better. They seem to actuate more reliably. So that's what I'm going for. But we're going to try this in the interim. So I'm just going to be taking this switch out, and instead of replacing with one of these 4 prongs that provides illumination, just doing one of these simple on and off switches right here. So put that to the side. All right, so I hadn't done anything but like font demos in a while, so I'm kind of rusty here, so bear with me. And of course, you never have to watch. So let's see. I don't have anything fancy to put it in. I got some of the helping hands over there. I don't really like the way they're set up, so I just use a C-clamp most of the time, and it works out pretty well. So the first thing you got to do is get all that solder out of the 4 prongs, and it's quite a bit in there, and it's really daunting because it takes forever sometimes, and like you have to get every little bit out, or it sticks in it and it doesn't want to pull out. But with patience and enough effort, you can get it out. It's not that big a deal. I've done several, so watch me make a fool of myself. It'll take forever tonight, but we're gonna try it either way. So we want to get some flux on all the little things here we're going to be hitting, because you always want the solder to flow well, and flux helps it do that. I got a new tip on my iron here, so we'll see how that goes. I can't do anything without these goggles, so. Whoa. And the solder sucker is just a little tricky sometimes, because you gotta keep it still while you activate it. So see, it just starts pulling that solder out of there. Let it liquefy, and then just do that several times. So we've got most of that out of there. Move my tab a little bit. So do that for every single one. And you can do this with it on the saber, and then you have all these wires come out right here. But it's a lot easier to me to not have to try to get to this tab without hitting these wires. So I always just usually unhook it from the saber, change it out, and then just pop those wires back in. Once you learn to solder, it's not a big deal. That's the hardest part, to be honest. Took a lot of it out right there. That solder coming out. pretty good. Sorry if I'm not much for banter. We're on Christmas break officially, and finally kind of getting some time to goof off a little bit. Let's see here. I need a screwdriver, because what I'm going to do is try to prise this out of here. Let's see. It's going to be hot, so be careful. So, of course, pull up on the switch a little bit and see if it gives anywhere. Don't force it. Obviously, this one's still pretty stuck, but I can see a little movement in there. And so I'm going to go ahead and take my screwdriver and just kind of prise it out. Yeah. So it's loose on some of those tabs. Let's see that. Big glob of solder here from earlier. Doesn't help anything. Let's see. I believe that got it, so let's see, maybe stuck on this side. And you don't want to damage any of this, obviously, so be careful, but probably raising some eyebrows right now. There. Just like that. So going to take, where's my goggles at? Clean this up a little bit. This is just alcohol. Some of that junk off. Get cotton all over it apparently. While I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and clean this up too. These big globs right here. Let's see here. Clean those up. Oops. Yeah, it's better. So this is one of my older switches, and it's all been used pretty good a few times. That's bent. Glue all over. So we're going to put the new switch in. So when you go to put the new switch in, you can see right here, you've got your AC, your negative, your positive, and your K. So the bottom of your switches will have the positive and negative on it. Positive, negative. So they would go, if I was doing an illuminated switch, it would go match up to the positive, negative. But I'm not, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to go just like that. press down on it as far as we can and solder that in, because I'm just going to have the on and off and not, ooh, I don't need that. Get rid of that. That would have been a pain in the butt. Yeah, LGT doesn't use these lock nuts, so you don't need those. They use the little board, this goofy thing here. But I still love my LGTs. Those are my favorite. I got a Saber Trio, I got that Bendu, and the LGTs are just, you can set it up just like you want, as balanced as you want, as light and flickable as you want. Put a 28mm speaker in it and have like a deep pocket recess for the blade, and it just, I really like them. I really like my two I've got like I want. So that's not in there very tight, so you got to be careful to make sure it doesn't pop out. So we want to have it sit on the ground. Let's turn it around. Everything I do is like janky and white trashy. But, I mean, when in Rome. Let's see here. Yeah. All right, that's a little bit too much. All right. So these all gooed up with some flux juice. Get my, what do you call it? Soldering wire? Solder. I only learned to solder because of these sabers. I had no other desire at all, and I had put it in the bucket of things I will not learn to do because I don't care. And then here I am doing this because of lightsabers. So, yeah, I really need a better system as far as my setup here goes, but oh well. When I first got into these things, of course I was afraid of them breaking. Of course they did, and of course I was like devastated because I mean I play with my sabers every night, so that's pretty good. That should work. So it became necessary for me to figure out how to repair them. So that's when I learned how to do stuff like this. Excuse me. And I can wire up a whole board from scratch now. So I mean, I knew absolutely nothing when I started. So it's not something that's impossible, that's for sure. Excuse me. All right, I'm gonna take a break, set that, get this cleaned up, and I'll break my saber down and get ready to do that. So just a quick shot of my setup here before I break it down. This is my core, Profit core, obviously. This 28mm speaker on here in the redneck way I got it set up. So if you look at my core, what I've done, just point of interest, is take the LGT core and just make it shorter. Cut off this end because I obviously don't need that to mount the speaker, and then I cut off this end to give me more blade depth, and then I just glue on a PCB holder with an aftermarket PCB. This one's not even lit up, just a standard PCB. And that gives, the blade depth is key, so it gives me like almost extra, maybe an inch of blade depth, as opposed to what you would have on a regular LGT with the pin sticking out up here. So I do this to all my chassis now. So if I can get the switch perfect like I want with a little clicky switch, man, we'll be set up good. All right, so I'm gonna break this down. And I have to break the glue every time I do something in the switch area, which is a pain in the butt, but I mean, it's minimal. I don't even really really mess with this end. So let's see. So yeah, I just pull all the guts out, like so. How do I want this set? All right. So now, just changing out the switch, and I always take a picture of this before I undo anything, so I can go back and do it just like I wanted, or just like it was in the picture, because I still don't trust myself 100%. So that's what I'll do. Actually, I got a picture of my phone. These little bitty wires. Gotta hit 'em. There. I'll save that and trade it. I'm gonna clean these up first, because they are nasty. Okay. That one's good. What the heck, Rocket? What'd you do? Patches, what are you eating? Don't do that. No. I didn't say come see me. No, get. And then you want to get some flux on all this. These tiny wires are the worst part. Actually, PCBs are pretty tiny too. The whole thing's tiny for old men with fat hands. I think that's all up. All right, then you want to get some solder on these. Just a little bit of solder on each one. Let's get to it. I try to do things in a hurry and wind up making more mess for myself. All right, once they all have solder on, they're ready to go. This is the trickiest part for me because all of holding your hand steady and I shake a lot. I use tweezers. I need some ceramic ones, but I don't have any right now. So, blah, 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 blah. All right, so it was green, blue, black, yellow. Yeah. Excuse me. See here. I'm going to put a little bit of solder on all this first. Because I took some out a while ago. If you're still with me, how's things going? There's not much on Disney right now. Ahsoka was garbage in my opinion, but nobody ever asked me anyway. Tip. I don't know about this tip. This big wide tip. Don't want to do too much because it'll shoot out the bottom like it did on me last time. There. Okay, now let's try. Green, blue, black, yellow, green, blue, black, yellow. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I can't talk and concentrate on this at the same time, sorry. I don't know about this big fat tip. A little bit too wide. And then black, right? Let's take black underneath the green. Oh, keep hanging up. Last but not least, yellow. Look at there. Don't think anything's touching. Let's see here. Ugh, that's just making it worse. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I didn't need all those wires because it was not lit, but I did anyway, obviously. So, oh well. I guess that won't hurt anything. Let's see if I blow something up. Works like a charm. And we'll see how long that one lasts. So I'm going to put this all back together, and obviously it's going to work okay. So
name's Ash. Housewares. Ninja.
let's try some.
Aziz Light.
Yeah, that'll work. I'll catch you guys later. May the force be with you.